Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on this Friday, March 4th.
Live from Boone, North Carolina, this is the Appalachian Weekly News.
I'm Xanayra Marin-Lopez.
And I'm Shannon Pendleton.
We begin our newscast today with an update on the campus mask mandate. Our correspondent Dalen Mickle has more on the new change.
Beginning March 7th, the town of Boone will be releasing its mask mandate. This has become a release, or maybe even a surprise to many, who will no longer be required to wear masks inside of classrooms or inside of any kind of building inside of the town of Boone. The state of emergency that started this mandate back in August will officially end at midnight of the 7th. However, private businesses within city limits will be allowed to enforce their own COVID-19 policies. As for students, in the class, masks will be off.
Mandate right after spring break, just because people are going to be with family and around other people, and will probably contract it and the cases will go up. But in general, I think it'll be good to have it lifted. Maybe we could wait a week or two, or students probably still have the option to keep their mask on, which might be a good idea.
With spring break ending while the mandate is being lifted, this has caused concern for many. In Watauga County, there are nearly 400 active COVID cases. Students have had mixed opinions and took some of their disagreement and turned it into a petition on change.org that has amassed nearly 600 signatures. There are some benefits to the mandate being lifted, though.
The impact of not wearing a mask is going to be probably have more personal relationships between students and professors and staff in general. Being able to see each other's faces and see each other's smiles, it means a lot in a classroom setting, especially since it's been so long and people have probably lost that touch. It'll be good to get back to it.
While it's unclear how long the mandate will last, as long as the numbers stay down, our masks will stay off. Do what's best for you and your family to keep everyone else safe. With the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Dalen Mickle.
Looking ahead to local elections, today is the last day for potential candidates to file and begin their campaigns. Two candidates who have filed for re-election are Jay Fenwick for the Watauga County Board of Education and Carrington Pertalion for the Board of Commissioners. Municipal elections will be held on May 17th, and the general election will be on November 8th.
An update now on a story we brought to you last week. On Wednesday, Tristan Borlise was found guilty of 2 counts of first-degree murder in the death of both his parents. Tristan was sentenced by Judge Greg Horn to life in prison without the possibility of parole for each of his charges. According to his defense attorney, Tristan will be appealing the sentences. The prosecution asked that there be a permanent no-contact order against Tristan, so he cannot contact his younger brothers.
Police are still looking to identify suspects in a catalytic converter theft. Last month, 2 catalytic converters were stolen from Freedom Electech work vans on Highway 105. The suspects were driving a white 4-door Chevy or GMC truck with black stripes on the hood and tailgate. Stolen catalytic converters are common in Boone. One App State freshman had hers stolen when her car was parked in the 105 lot.
I went to lot 105 on Friday to go get my car because I was going out of town for the weekend, and I got into my car and I went to go start it, and we noticed that it sounded kind of funny, and we noticed that my muffler was on the ground, so we decided to call ASUPD, and they came out and they said that someone had tried to saw off my catalytic converter, so there wasn't really much that they could do about it, just like file a police report.
As the war between Russia and Ukraine continues, disaster response specialists from North Carolina Samaritan's Purse are heading to Poland and Romania to help Ukrainian refugees. The humanitarian aid organization is sending teams over to determine the need of the area. Then more resources will come in the following days. Samaritan's Purse helps to provide food and clothing, and they also have a mobile field hospital that can be constructed near disaster sites for trauma patients.
We sent a team of people over to 3 separate countries. We have staff there now. So we have staff in Poland, Romania, and Moldova. And they're meeting people right on the borders. They're coming across and working with them and helping to meet both physical needs and spiritual needs.
This organization works with over 3,000 churches across Ukraine. Samaritan's Purse is currently in the process of distributing 600,000 gift-filled Christmas child shoeboxes through Ukrainian churches and ministry partners.
Shannon, I don't know if you've noticed, but these gas prices have been crazy lately.
I know, Xanayra. I recently filled up my tank and it was so expensive.
I'm sure. Our correspondent Stephen Biddix is live right now outside of the Quality Plus. Stephen, what can you tell us on ways to save money on gas?
Yeah, I'm live here at the Quality Plus gas station across from Tweetsie Railroad off of Highway 321. Just 2 days ago, gas here was $3.57. It is now $3.77. That's a 20-cent jump in 48 hours. Now, we all know gas prices are skyrocketing, but there are some things you can do to not pay these prices at the pump as often. Gas prices here in the high country are on the rise. Just a year ago at this time, prices ranged from $2.50 to $3.50, but they are now $3.60 to $4.80. While you may not be able to control gas prices, you can control your gas mileage and how often you visit the pump. One way you can improve your gas mileage is by making sure you have the proper air pressure. You can buy gauges like this just for $5, and all you have to do is untwist this, stick in your gauge, and it shows your tire pressure. I also sat down with Lucas Underwood, owner of L&N Performance Auto Repair, to learn more of what you can do to improve your gas mileage.
And in most cars, you can actually check your air filter. So you're able to check the air filter fairly easily. Most have clips, and most shops will check it very quickly for you and not charge anything at all to check that air filter.
Lucas also discussed that using a different type of tire could be very beneficial to your fuel economy.
In a lot of different ways, tires have a ton of aspects that we need to consider. One of them is a low rolling resistance tire. So tire manufacturers recognize there's a need for fuel economy right now. This can improve tire performance up to 5 to 6% in fuel efficiency ranges.
Another way you can limit your visits to the pump is just by driving more conservatively.
So if you'll pay a little bit more attention to how heavily you accelerate and how quickly you brake, you'll see a tremendous difference. We see 15 to 20% mileage increases just by not accelerating as aggressively.
Break now here, a lot of people will be traveling, and you can use apps like Get Upside and Gas Buddy to find the cheapest prices near you. Also, enrolling in gas rewards memberships can also help cheapen your price at the pump. For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Stephen Biddix.
Thanks so much for those tips, Stephen. I'll be sure to use those the next time I'm at the pump. Safe Harbor Recovery Center is honoring those lost to overdose this Saturday at their Black Balloon event at 11 a.m. At the Harvest House Church, attendees are encouraged to bring a photo of a lost loved one that will contribute to an overall photo composite. The event will feature songs and prayers as well as a guest speaker.
Walk beside the broken for a special day of grieving in a safe environment that can bring some healing even and provide hope with restoration. That's our purpose in doing it, as well as educating any who come. All are invited to this event. It's an hour from 11 a.m. to 11 a.m. to 12 noon at Harvest House Church.
One of Boone's local organizations is bringing awareness to Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. OASIS educated Watauga and Avery counties on the warning signs and preventative measures of adolescent partner violence. OASIS serves the survivors of teen dating through direct services, seeks to empower the community, and prevent violence from happening in the first place. Some signs that are an indication of an unhealthy relationship are negative changes in behavior and mood, feelings of being monitored, and scheduled interruptions. OASIS is hosting ongoing conversations about healthy relationships through the schools and is partnered with local youth organizations. For more information, you can visit oasisinc.org.
Southwest and Caribbean soul food restaurant Coyote Kitchen is now under new ownership. Lost Province Brewing Company bought the restaurant and will be the new owners starting in April. Coyote Kitchen offers an allergy-friendly menu with antibiotic and hormone-free meat options, eco-friendly ocean fishes, as well as vegetarian and vegan options. The new Lost Province owners say they are committed to keeping this mission alive, even though they are the new owners. Coyote Kitchen opened in 2003, and since then, the owners say they are ready for their next business venture.
If you have ever thought about fostering a few dogs, now's your chance. A dog named Abby was transferred to the Watauga Humane Society from Ashe County. She has been abused and has recently given birth to 9 puppies. These puppies are now a few weeks old. The puppies and their mama are searching for a new foster home.
But ideally, a foster situation for her and all 9 puppies, someplace that's easily separatable from other animals in the home, somebody who's home more often than not, or at least, can come check on them. Mom is pretty self-sufficient. She doesn't really need much other than food, water, and then just love and attention. She craves it really more than anything else.
If you are interested in fostering these puppies, you can contact the Watauga Humane Society at 828-264-7865.
From Boone to Broadway, former Boonie Dalton Dale is set to build Broadway's first immersive theater in New York City. With the help of a $150 million in a funding partnership with Blue Heron Films, they've created the Immersive Theater Fund. Through the fund, they'll be able to create a flexible Broadway theater in a 60,000 square foot space that will be called the Immersive Arts Complex. A 300 square foot theater will be developed as well, but in Florida. To learn more about the Immersive Theater Fund or to donate, visit www.immersivetheaterfund.com.
Last year, the Blue Ridge Parkway saw a record number of visitors. Our correspondent, Sydney Gladwell, has more.
The Blue Ridge Parkway saw over 15 million visitors over the past year, but with heavy visitation comes some harmful impacts. I took a trip up the mountain to figure out what visitors can do to enjoy and preserve the parkway for generations to come. According to the National Park Service, the Blue Ridge Parkway experience is unlike any other, and I was not alone in enjoying it. While overall parkway visitation has remained relatively the same over the past decade, overcrowding at the park's most popular destinations is resulting in deterioration. The parkway says this is where preservation needs to come into play, and they are not alone. As I traveled up the scenic route, I encountered 2 App State students who stopped to share their thoughts on the pressing issue.
I think it's extremely important because if you don't preserve it, one, nobody can come see it, and that's already a crime in and of itself, because if you don't want to come out here and see this, I don't know what you're doing.
Preservation is really important on the parkway, especially with everything going on with climate change. We have so much biodiversity out here that's not only beautiful and attracts tourists to the area, but it also keeps all the animals and just the general environment alive, and if we allow that to die, it would be really sad.
So what can visitors do to recreate responsibly? According to the parkway, visitors should plan ahead and prepare by learning about park resources and avoiding times of high use. They can dispose of waste properly by repackaging their food. They can leave the area as they found it by photographing but not disturbing their respective ecosystems. They can respect wildlife by not approaching or feeding them at any time. And they can be considerate of other visitors by minimizing voices and other loud noises. Anyone who wants to learn more about efforts to preserve the park can visit go.nps.gov/parkway-plan-ahead. With traditional visitations set to begin this spring, Blue Ridge Parkway leadership and staff encourage all visitors to bring a shared commitment to preservation on their trip up. For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Sydney Gladwell.
Are you ready to channel the flannel? If so, you can join AMB's Flannel Fest later today from 1 to 5 p.m. It is located at Appalachian Mountain Brewery. While there, you can enjoy fresh beer, warm cider, wood carving, axe throwing, live music, and participate in a contest for the best beard. There is an admission fee, but if you're wearing a flannel, you will receive a discount.
On the first Friday of each month, from February to December, Boone hosts the First Friday Art Crawl. From 5 to 8 p.m. on King Street, places like the Turchin Center and the Maisie Jones Gallery in the Jones House are open and free to the public. If you're walking downtown today, be sure to also stop by the various art exhibits and wine tastings happening in different shops and restaurants.
Are you feeling stressed about midterms? No need to worry. Therapy Dogs are coming back to App State. This event will be on March 15th from 11:45 a.m. to 1:45 p.m. It will be on Sanford Mall or the Grandfather Ballroom if it is raining. Come out and pet some fluffy friends. Coming up on the Appalachian Weekly News, a look inside Boone's first and only clay working studio.
Hi, neighbor. I'm Ryan Perone.
And I'm Elena Jones.
Join us every Tuesday at 10 a.m. as we explore the events, organizations, and people that make the High Country so special.
You can tune in on Channel 198 for Spectrum customers, Channel 20 or 1020 for SkyBest customers, or Channel 23-3 on campus.
Also, make sure to follow us at Instagram at @hi_neighbor_app_TV for up-to-date coverage of events happening and student-made content. Until then,
bye neighbor.
Welcome back to a brand new smack dab season of App TV's own queer-oriented show, Can't Think Straight. I'm Nate.
And I'm Harriet. We'll be here to make you laugh and think as we combine comedy and education on Can't Think Straight.
The show premieres Fridays at 9 p.m. You can tune in on watchapptv.com or on YouTube, Channel 198 for Spectrum customers, Channel 20 or 1020 for SkyBest customers, and Channel 23-3 on campus.
Also be sure to check out our Instagram at Can't Think Straight App TV. We can't wait to see you there.
Bye.
The football season's over, but we are far from done. With basketball picking up and March Madness right around the corner, catch all your App State national sports news on Charter Cable Channel 198 and on YouTube at App TV. Let's have a great year and roll Nears.
Memories. A sweet retrospective look at the past. However, the past has, well, passed. And now, a new and better crew looks toward the horizon and marches toward Appalachian State head-on. This spring, look toward App Avenue on App TV to see a new legacy be written on random days of the week. No, seriously, this show will literally be airing any day of the week, so stay glued to those screens. We'll see you out there.
Appalachian Avenue!
Welcome back to the Appalachian Weekly News. Now, we all know there's no shortage of creativity in Boone. Our correspondent Zach White got to take a look inside High Country Clay to see how some express their creative side.
High Country Clay is a community clay studio, and our mission is to connect community through clay and get people excited about clay. If you have clay experience, this could be a place for you to come and work. And basically, we offer anything from day passes where you can come in during the day and you're supplied with clay and full access to the studio, and you can take your pieces all the way through the firing process if you want and glaze. Have it kind of back in again, and I'm just going to give it you're going to do another pool. And we also offer full membership services, which entail 24/7 access to the studio, your own space for tools and glazes, and you get member discounts on clay, workshops, and opportunities to sell.
So I started at HCC a little over a year ago. I've loved it here. It's an amazing community space. It's open for basically everybody, and everybody here has such a unique perspective on art and just an amazing community we have here, and I love it. It's a perfect place.
I love to paint, and then I found clay and I found a way to combine them, and so I'm here all the time and I help run it, and I just love being here, being part of the workshops, and letting members get a chance to find what they love to do best and help teach others.
Something that we're really passionate about are people that are interested in clay and have never touched clay. So we actually have a lot of beginners in our studio. They've had this desire to experiment with clay, and we'll say come in and do a day pass and see if you like it. If you really like it, if you're going to want to come back, then maybe look at getting a membership. And it's been really cool to see people that have no experience, that have stuck with it, or now have the clay bug and are obsessed with it, and are making really cool work. We also have people who have 20 years experience here that have their own studios that come in just to this is kind of a touchstone for the community and the arts, and they come in here just to be around other artists because it's a clay studio, but we also have a tattoo studio in here, and we have people from all different mediums that kind of hang out here. But if you're really into something else like painting or drawing and you want to kind of expand and explore another medium, clay is awesome because you can immediately bring your other craft into it.
Matt Tubman has been selected by the North Carolina's Coaches Association to play in the 2022 East-West All-Star Soccer Game. Tubman played for Watauga Pioneers and was the captain of the team. He is coming off a year where he was named All-Conference and 3A/4A Northwestern Conference Co-Player of the Year. The game is set for July 12th at the McPherson Stadium in Brown Summit. It will feature 32 players from around the state who have completed their senior seasons. Tubman is set to join the West roster.
Student athletes can look forward to a recent $1 million donation for academic resources and practice facilities. Robert Lee, Don Lee, and their son Tucker Lee of Pinehurst, North Carolina, gave the donation to App State Athletics last week. Tucker, the son of the family, was a 2014 graduate and an offensive lineman for the Mountaineers. During his time at App State, he earned 3 letters as a key contributor and a part-time starter at right guard. In 2012, he helped the Mountaineers win the Southern Conference title. The family has a history of supporting the university financially since their son started playing football for the school. Shannon, it sounds like this donation could mean a lot for App State athletics.
Alex, what more can you tell us about sports this week?
Winter sports are coming to a close, and the Sun Belt Conference Tournament has started. The App State men's basketball team started their title defense tomorrow night as they face conference rivals Georgia Southern in the Sun Belt Conference quarterfinals at Pensacola, Florida. App State seeded second in the conference after finishing 12-6 in conference play, earning them a bye in the first round of the tournament. Senior guard Adrian Delp will lead the Mountaineers after being named in the first team All-Sun Belt after a strong season with Dolph Rogers' 17.3 points per game, 5.3 rebounds per game, and 58 assists, all career best for the senior forward. You can watch Delph and the rest of the Mountaineers tomorrow night at 8:30 on ESPN+. And as for women's basketball, as App State women's basketball team, they start their conference tournament run today against Little Rock in the Sun Belt Conference quarterfinals. The Mountaineers seeded 4th in the conference, marking a program record. They finished the season 8-4 in conference play, earning them a bye in the first round of the tournament. The Mountaineers will hope to replicate their results last time out against Little Rock, where they beat the Trojans 60-49. You can watch the Mountaineers kick off their Sun Belt Conference tournament run on ESPN Plus today at 3. App State men's golf team swung open their spring season last weekend at the Wolfpack Invitational. 2 Mountaineers placed in the top 10 as senior Justin Morgan and graduate student Ryan Martyr tied for the 3rd best scores among golfers in the final round with an even par 72. However, this is also to be Jason Allison's final game as head coach. On Monday, it was announced that Allison has resigned as head coach. There has currently been no announcement yet regarding the vacancy of the role since. App State women's golf team returns to action this upcoming Monday and Tuesday at the Oyster Shuck match play held at Charleston, South Carolina. They'll compete for the first time in nearly a month after placing 12th out of 15th at the Lady Bison Bay Point Classic on February 8th at Panama City, Florida. App State softball team is playing right now against Ohio at Athens, Georgia in the University of Georgia tournament. The tournament will be held this weekend there, where the Mountaineers will face UMass today and tomorrow, Ohio again, and 15th ranked Georgia on Sunday. The App State baseball team is also in action today, hosting their first spring game of the season at home. The Mountaineers will face off UNC Wilmington in a 3-game series all weekend, starting today at 3 at the Beaver Field. If you can't make it in person to the game, you can also tune in on ESPN Plus today to support your Mountaineers. The App State wrestling team is set to close their season as they will be hosting the Southern Conference Wrestling Championship tomorrow at the Holmes Convocation Center. The Mountaineers seeded first after going undefeated in the conference, finishing 7-0. With their undefeated conference season, the Mountaineers were awarded honors as redshirt senior Jonathan Milner was named Southern Conference Wrestler of the Year. This is the second year in a row that App State won Southern Conference Wrestler of the Year and the 11th time since 1993. Milner and super senior Thomas Flitz were named to the all-conference team as both Milner and Flitz finished the conference season 7-0. What a way to enter spring break with the Southern Conference Sun Belt Tournament. Xanayra, Shannon, what spring sports are you guys looking forward to?
I'm really excited for baseball season. Xanayra, what about you?
Me too, Shannon. And speaking of spring, now it's time for your High Country High Note.
Spring break is next week, and there were some festivities on campus this week to help students unwind.
Our correspondent Nick Fago has more on the event.
Spring break is upon us here at Appalachian State University. I am here on Sanford Mall as they are having events here ran by Apps to get people ready for spring break. Let's see what all the students and staff have to say.
Sanford Mall had many events going on earlier this week all along App State's campus.
There were events such as free food and free ice cream for students and other activities like mini golf and pottery painting, just being a few.
We have our plants, painting activities, we have jewelry making, we have 5 different snack stations. So we have s'mores, frozen yogurt, cheesecake, pretzels, and snow cones. We have our miniature putt-putt.
There are many students out here relaxing and enjoying the fun as they prep for their spring break.
So I'm super excited. It's a beautiful day out here today. Everyone's like out and about, and spring break's in a few days, and I'm super excited to have a break and get to enjoy the warm weather.
As the week starts to wind down, students are prepping for a break from schoolwork and are ready to enjoy and relax and have time with their families.
As you can see, there are so many fun events out here. I hope you all have a fun spring break. With Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Nick Fago.
That's our report for this week.
We won't have a show next week due to spring break, but we'll see you here back in the studio on March 18th.
I'm Shannon Pendleton.
And I'm Xanayra Marin-Lopez. Thank you for watching.